Winston Churchill is one of the most iconic historical figures, most famous for defeating Hitler in World War II by reigniting the flames in the hearts of the British, who were getting ready to lose hope. Winston had an adventurous childhood, being a descendant of the first Duke of Marlborough, with his father also being a well-respected member of Parliament. Because of his family's influence, Winston got into some of the most prestigious schools, and despite the greatest efforts of his teachers, Winston quickly found himself dreading school, especially learning Latin and Greek. He often questioned the teachers as to why he had to learn what he was learning, not getting any good answer from any of them. He did excel in literature, though, because he adored reading, absolutely tearing books to smithereens. Winston decided that he wanted to join the military, so he studied to get into the Royal Military Academy of Sandhurst. Undiscouraged by failing his first two attempts at the entry exams, Winston finally got in on his third. Upon graduating from Sandhurst, Winston now wanted on some action, so he utilized his mother's influence to serve in the British military all across the world, all the way from Cuba to Sudan. While serving in India, he discovered that he was really good at writing, so he published some books and began writing reports for various newspapers. He later left the military to pursue politics, living only by his pen. He did later join in on the Boer War, though this time not as a soldier, but rather as a war correspondent for the Morning Post. During the war, he was captured by the Boers and escape seemed impossible, but he managed to think of a runaway, barely sneaking through, making his escape story famous amongst the British. Upon finally reaching the British consulate in Maputo, he quickly rejoined the war back as a soldier. When the Brits finally won, Winston was free to pursue politics again. He became a member of Parliament at just 26 years old, and married not too long after. His popularity really began growing right before World War II, when the then Prime Minister, Neville Chamberlain, led Germany take some of Czechoslovakia in order to evade conflict. Winston claimed that this was a total and unmitigated defeat. His predictions later came true as Germany moved on to invade Poland, Norway, and by the time Germany attacked Benelux, Chamberlain lost all the confidence of the Parliament. People grew to like Winston and were pushing to get him in office. Upon becoming Prime Minister, Winston gave a brilliant first speech, stating that he had nothing to offer but his blood, toil, tears, and sweat. He had the difficult task of giving hope to the British when things seemed hopeless for them. Winston re-inspired them with his brilliant speeches, which, in the end, led to the defeat of the Nazis. And for all of this, he won the Nobel Prize in, you guessed it, literature. In all seriousness, Winston was a hero who lived several lives over the course of his life.